into my wardrobe room. It's all very LA here, darling. Got the clothes off the floor and we're actually hanging up. So we thought we could maybe come in here. Da-da-da. Hang on, let me just sort this out. How are you all this morning? Welcome if you've just come over from Instagram. If you weren't on Instagram and you were waiting here, I was just saying to the guys over there that the reason we're late is I got up late. Mark's editing, so he's doing, he's just filming with Nadia. So you just got me today. That's all right. How are you? Do you know what? I was looking around on the news and I said to Mark, right, all we've got is still banging on about the EU and the vaccine. The holidays are probably off in Europe, well, abroad at all. And I just thought it's all just a bit... I just don't think we need to talk about it. And he was 100% agreed that the last thing we need to do is talk about the bloody news today. So how are you all? I'm just trying to get a better light on me. Maybe if I close these. Oh, that's better. You can see me now. Isn't that weird? How's that? Is that better? Oh, yeah, it was too bright. Isn't it lovely? The sun's shining. Good morning, Reem. Good morning, Lydia. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Jill. Good morning, Alison, Movie, Ashley Gardner. Do I have a pen and paper? That's hilarious. Oh, I have. Yes, I've got a pen and paper. Why? What do you want to say? What do I need to write down? If I can still write. Don't you find now when you try and write, it's just, oh my God, my handwriting is illegible. So for anybody that gets a card from me and can't read a bloody word I've said, I just want to tell you, neither can I when I read it back. Neither can I. Kiki! Oh my God, it's just said 20% battery. Is that going to be enough? No sun where you are. Oh God, I'll tell you what, it's lifted my spirits, the sun today. Me and Kiki are going to go for a nice long walk after I've finished here with you guys. Your hand aches when you write a lot. I can't even write. I had my vaccine yesterday. I feel like crap. Sarah Beaton. It's funny, isn't it, how it affects some people and not other people? Because me and Jane Moore both had ours on the Monday, and we had almost exactly the same reaction. Kay had hers yesterday, and she got really tired. She slept for 12 hours, and she's woken up today fine. So yeah, it's a Russian roulette. But honestly, even if you do get a bit worried, just make sure if you can to book your day off the next day and just take it as time out. And honestly, paracetamol really did help the aches. I tried not to have it because apparently you have a better immune response if you don't have the paracetamol, but I just thought, fuck it. I was like, I'm not going to have any paracetamol. And then after about 2 hours, I was like, give me the paracetamol. And it was fine. You had yours today at 9:30. How do you feel, Sharon? How do you feel? You had a headache and shivers, Jen. Yeah, I never had a headache. Second dose was worse for me. Muscle ache and tired with Pfizer, but a few days I was fine. Yeah, they say that with the Pfizer, apparently. Not everybody again, but a lot of people say it was worse with the second one. They didn't get many side effects with the first one. But actually, it seems to me, the most people I speak to say that the second Oxford one is easier. Dawn Claricos, you had yours yesterday. God, it's so many of us having them now. Had mine 4 weeks ago. No sore arm, no side effects at all, Louise Jones. I didn't have any sore arm. Louise, were you like me? Were you almost like thinking, God, has it worked? I haven't got a sore arm. Oh, God, Charlotte, did you? Charlotte Rittman had a headache for 2 days. And my arm was so painful. Isn't it weird? Well, it's not. We're all so different, aren't we? God, of course we are. We're all utterly unique. Amy Dodds, Nadia, I listened to the latest Confessions of a Modern Parent. It really moved me. Such honesty from Izzy and Maddie. Thank you. Don't. Because I found that whole podcast, as I said yesterday. I mean, grueling, harrowing is the only right words for it. But just I was left with so much admiration for those girls, you know. And yesterday, Maddie called me and we were talking about something else. I just started crying out of nowhere. She was like, Mom, you right. I just want to say you're my hero. You're actually absolutely my hero today, just listening to you and just, You were just, the way that she spoke was just so truthful, authentic, and just empowering. In it, she talks about how, you know, people have got to stop asking women, what can we do? What can we do? She said, we're doing everything to not get raped, to not get attacked. We work really hard at it. You know, we work really hard not to. So what are you going to do? What are the men going to do? And we need the good men to be on board with this to help us. And I just thought that's so bloody true. But yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, the podcast, that's our Confessions of a Modern Parent, where we were just talking back over the Sarah Everard horror, and then how we've all been left feeling afterwards. Oh my God. On that note, we watched yesterday afternoon, me, Kiki, Nanny, Di and Mark, we just handed over the time because we were busy yesterday, and we sat and watched Sometimes, or no, Always, Sometimes, Never, Rarely. Something like that, some configuration of that. I think it's on Apple iTunes. Don't know if any of you have watched it. And I think it was about the young girl in it was tipped for the Oscar at one point. Just phenomenal acting. Whoever that female director is, oh my God, I'd do anything to work with her. The performances she got out of these girls. And it's basically, the themes are abortion and sexual abuse, and yeah, but you don't see any sexual abuse. It's just, you just see this journey of these two girls and this abortion, and it was so powerful, so hard hitting, and just, yeah, really relevant at the moment because of the way so many of us as women are feeling. Sorry, this feels like a very female chat. I can't help it. I'm a female. Sorry, boys, if you're feeling left out. You wouldn't be left feeling out of that film, though, I have to say. But what I'm going to be talking about in a bit, you will feel left out. Yeah, so I really recommend that. It was unbelievable. Oh, you saw it. It was so good, wasn't it? What's your big secret? Nadia reveals a big secret. Is that what Mark's put? Well, it has been a bit of a secret, if I'm honest. It has been a bit of a secret because we do talk to you about most things that we do that are big changes in our life. And it's been really weird how I haven't spoken about this. And I think it's because I've been so anti it for so long, for so much of my life, to the point where I think I was a bit ignorant, and I hadn't really done my homework, and I now have real regret that I didn't do this earlier. So it's felt very important to me that I tell, and also I wanted to see how it went before I talk to you about it. So again, sorry, this is very excluding to men. But it's not, if you're a younger woman, I don't want you to feel excluded by this conversation, because this conversation is actually very important for younger women as well. So basically, as you know, I'm a very holistic sort of person. I use a lot of homeopathy. I'm very I never go to the doctors. I don't have antibiotics. I don't do any of that stuff. And nearly every single thing that I've had in my life has been I've treated with either homeopathy or acupuncture most of my adult life, and that's served me really well, and I'm very fit, and I'm very well, and I'm very all of that. And then when I went into my menopause, I used again natural medicine, and it was just brilliant for me. Brilliant. I dealt with my night sweats, dealt with all sorts of things. But earlier in the year, last year, Kay wrote, well, she didn't write the whole book, actually. She was paid part in the book. And I don't know if you saw about the menopause, hot. And both she and I, for years, had been like this about anyone that did HRT. If I'm honest, I was a bit judgy. I was like, oh my God, imagine doing that to your body. Oh my God, that's so awful. What are people just doing that for their body so that they can have shiny hair, or they can have this? I mean, real ignorant, judgy stuff. I have to admit, I'm a bit ashamed at how with my friends that were in HRT, it was all this oh, you must be mad, all this sort of stuff. Anyway, when Kay did her book, she did a lot more research into HRT and the way that really she discovered that women have been done a real disservice by the media and the way that they have reported on HRT. And for real in depth on that, I would really recommend that you go to the Menopause charity website. That's the doctor that I went to see, and I am just a changed person. Lee's on HRT. hot, LJD. That's Kay's book. Anyway, so Kay was, come on, let's go and have a chat. Let's go and meet a doctor. Let's go and talk about it. Anyway, so I did. This brilliant doctor, Louise Newson, who is an absolute, like, you know, she is a powerhouse on all things menopause. And she has like a waiting list, like as long as your arm. She's actually a GP, but she's also a menopause expert. And there are no menopause experts right now. When you think about this, every single woman has her menopause. And this is what's important, even if you're younger, to listen to this conversation. Oh, still hot. That's what it's called. Thanks, Claire. It is that we don't talk about it. We don't learn about it at school. I mean, can you remember being told anything about the menopause? Oh my God, and estrogen serves every single part of our body. I mean, it is just so important. And the reason why we would stop producing estrogen like in our late 40s and our 50s was because in the old days, had our children, we'd be dying. You know, we live for so much longer now, and we're living without estrogen. Now, I didn't go on it for years because I thought, oh God, all estrogen is made from horse's piss and all this sort of stuff, which it was, but it's not any longer. I'm now on it, and it's from a yam extract, and it has changed my life. I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you. And I just feel very passionately that women are being done a disservice. And Louise Newson, the doctor, you can follow her on Instagram as well, who I saw. I'll tell you a bit about what happened in my appointment. But she said, you know, women, marriages are broken up. People leave their careers. Businesses break down. Women's lives are changed, you know, unbelievably, irreparably. And she thinks it's a real disservice because she thinks there's been so much bad press about the connection of HRT and breast cancer. So, you know, I went to see her very, very cautiously. And we had a long appointment, and she said to me, one of the things she said to me was, what are your symptoms? And I said, well, I haven't got any symptoms. I had my menopause about 8 years ago. I haven't got any symptoms. And she said, that's going to be really interesting. She said, because it will be that you've just got used to them. And, you know, over the last few months, I've had some really emotional times. I'm not kidding you, where I have realised how much I changed without even knowing it. Just like over the months, just this weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I can't tell you. I literally can't tell you the difference. The knackeredness that I had for so long is gone. A light has come back in. Libido is a big problem once you've got no estrogen. It's a big problem when you've got no estrogen, I'm telling you that. And you can think all sorts of things about yourself and not realise actually that it's a lack of estrogen. Don't want to say too much more on that. Got kids. But if you think of almost everything in your life, almost everything in my life has changed since I've been taking HRT. And it's been difficult for me, this, because I almost feel like I'm turning against the holistic life that I've had, but I've always used alternative medicine, but not to the point where I dismiss, where I'm blindly like won't have anything. I wanted to try it. I wasn't going to say anything about it. I've been 6 or 7 months now, and I cannot imagine ever coming off it. That's how much of a difference it's made to me. Now, There is so much I could talk to you about what goes on with estrogen and what goes on. Do you know, friends of mine have gone to the doctors over the years, and I didn't even, and said things like, you know, God, I'm exhausted all the time, or I'm really irritable. I never used to be irritable like this. I get cross. I've got no sex drive, all these different things that my friends have gone to the doctors for. And every single time, bar one person that I know, they've been offered antidepressants. They're not bloody depressed. They just haven't got estrogen anymore. And now I take estrogen, progesterone, and a tiny amount of testosterone every day. And it literally has changed my life. I just feel like I'm coming back to my old self, because I could be my old self and then I would just feel exhausted and almost drained and, yeah, down. I mean, that's stuff that I don't show you guys, you know, I don't go on about. That was just, and now when I think back to when Louise said to me, you won't even know about these, about your symptoms, because they've just become part of you. And actually they're not part of you. And she thinks it's an absolute travesty that antidepressants, which cost a fortune and can cause all kinds of, we don't know, if you're not actually depressed and you're given antidepressants, I mean, what could that do if you're not actually depressed, if it's actually just depleted in estrogen? But I mean, I'm not no doctor, so I don't want to go into details of that. But what I would say is really, really check it out. Really check it out. I would say go and listen to Liz Earle. Liz Earle, who is a real guru of mine, she's a really into, you know, natural stuff and homeopathy and all this sort of stuff, all the stuff that I'm really into and still into. And she actually wrote a book, a whole book on the menopause, and she talks really eloquently about this. And there was about this much. She said about this much in her book about HRT. And she asked Louise Newson, the doctor I saw, whether she could endorse her book. And Louise looked at it and she said, no, I can't. Because, yeah, it's great to eat well, it's great to exercise well, it's great to do this, it's great to do that, it's great to do that, but you're not informing women on HRT. And so if I remember rightly, in Liz Earle's live, one of the lives I was watching recently, she said that her sleep, she'd always been a brilliant, that's the other thing, my sleep. She said that her sleep had become really, really disturbed and she was absolutely frantic. And you've got to remember, she was a complete non-believer in HRT. Anyway, listen to her. It's her story to tell. Go over onto her Instagram and there's lots on there and on her podcast about her journey into HRT. She is now an ambassador for the Menopause charity because she feels so passionately that women haven't been told fully the benefits and that there's so much hysteria around the breast cancer connection, which I'm not going to tell you about because I'm not a doctor, but I really, really want you to check out from Louise Newson, the menopause expert, and Liz Earle, who's you know, is a great researcher and a great health advocate. They you know, go to them for the actual nuts and bolts of information. But as far as I'm concerned, just from just from a personal POV, my personal POV is, I wish to God I'd gone in it 8 years ago. I really wish to God I'd gone in it 8 years ago. One of the main reasons I was convinced to even have the conversation with Louise was because of what Kay told me about our hearts and how important estrogen is for our hearts. So that was the first reason I went. And then there's all these other benefits that have come in. So yeah, it's funny because I've kind of felt ashamed about going on it. It was like almost like a dirty secret. It's really weird. Proper keep it in the drawer, hidden away, because it's just gone so against what I believed and what I was shouting about. So if any of that resonates with you, and with younger women, you know, I just think we as women are done a massive disservice that we're not taught this in school. And I think men are, because a lot of men will go through, go through bloody hell when their woman goes into menopause and they haven't got a clue what's going on. They just haven't got a clue. And you can feel like Louise Newson said to me, you know, she said, I've been married to my husband, I don't know, 30 years, she's been with him a long time. She goes, and I hated him. She's like, absolutely hates him. And she told me about, and she was a menopause doctor, and she wasn't recognising the same signs of her own perimenopause. And she goes, and I thought we were going to split up, me and my husband. And she said, and I was just being so horrible to my kids and to everybody. And she goes, and I had this absolute epiphany when my daughter, Louise, if you're watching this, if I've got any part of this story wrong, please forgive me. And as I say, check out Louise on her menopause charity on her Instagram. If I've got any part of the, yeah. And so her daughter said, oh, I think I would live with Dad and not live with you. Because these rages and the bad temperedness and the thing is, it's like Louise says, again, I'm not a doctor, you must check this out. You know, some people might not have those, or people tend to think, oh, if I haven't had the mad sweats, then, you know, I haven't really had any menopause symptoms. But there's all sorts of stuff that are going on inside of you that you wouldn't know about. Creaky joints, all that sort of stuff. Rachel Evans, I have a lot of the symptoms, but is 36 too young for early menopause? No, Rachel, no. And you know what's really good about the menopause charity and the menopause website is, before you go and see your doctor, check it out, because there they've got this brilliant template on how to ask your doctor for stuff, for HRT. Because lots of GPs aren't actually taught about the menopause in enough detail. That's what Louise says. And they don't actually know about how far HRT has moved on, that it's no longer as dangerous as it was deemed before. And she said, so often what they'll do is they'll just look when they, you know, when they go like this on the computer and like, it comes up and then they'll go, oh yeah, you can have this or you can't have that. What's coming up there is the little pamphlet that you get inside the box, the HRT box. And she said, that's actually really out of date. And so they'll just go, oh no, you're not, you can't. Oh, you've had this in your history, you've had that. And that's it. And there's no more discussion about HRT. So it's really, really good if you visit her website, so you know how and what to ask for. But it has changed my life. I am not exaggerating. It really has changed my life. Things like, it's really subtle. There's big things that it's changed, but there's also really subtle things. Like, and Kay talks about this as well. I remember Kay and I were going through our menopause around the same time, and we're both, you know, fairly fearless people. Most of our adult life, we'll do things without too much thought. And one of the first thing I noticed about anxiety coming in, when I'd never really had anxiety before, was I started to get terrified of flying. And lots of women have this similar, you know, experience. And I remember Kay, I know she won't mind me saying this, ringing me once from, she was just about to go on holiday with her family to LA, you know, lovely, great, because something she would be so excited about. And she was in the toilet, absolutely petrified, like high anxiety about having to get on a plane. And I remember her texting me and me texting back and going, oh my God, I know exactly what you mean. And we can't tell our families, can we? Because it just feels so embarrassing. So that's a small example. About 4 months in, and I've been like that ever since. Every time that all the guys were all going, yeah, let's go off and do this. Like, this is part of me going, oh my God, and what will it be like? And what if we have a crash? And what if we have, like this very unlike me anxiety. And it was quite about 4 months in, we were all having this conversation, me and Mark and the girls, and I went, I just want to do something. I don't want to go on our standard holiday. I want us to just like pack a rucksack. I want us to turn up at the airport, and I want us to just look at the boards and then buy a ticket to anywhere and then just see where we turn up. And it was my family's reaction. Anxiety, mood swings, all of that, yeah. Just turned around and went, you. Honestly, I could have cried, because that is who I used to be. I used to just do things on the spur of the moment all the bloody time. And they all looked at me and I thought, and I got another one of those epiphanies of when Louise said to me, you won't know the symptoms that you've got because it's become who you are. The anxiety, like, I haven't got that, that kind of like, that was there. Leggy Blonde Jen, I'm sure I'm going through it. Not had a period for 8 years. Been put on progesterone pill all that time. Because of COVID, it's a nightmare to get advice. Go to the Menopause charity. Louise Newson on Instagram. And God, sorry, I've just seen one pile of washing back there. and the Menopause charity. Everything you could want to know is there. She also does a podcast and likes Louise Newson, and I really check out Liz Earle as well. And just get more information. I would say again, everything I've said here is my personal experience. I'm not a doctor, it's my personal experience. But I just wish I had researched it more. That's all. That's what I wanted to share with you, you know. And it's been like a bit of a dirty secret because I don't know why somehow I felt ashamed, or I felt that I failed. And Louise said that. Louise said that women feel like they've failed and like they've done something amazing if they've got through their menopause without having estrogen. And a lot of people think HRT, and a lot of people think, oh, it's too late. Well, Liz Earle can't directly quote me on this, but her mum has gone back on it in her 80s, right? She's just started estrogen in her 80s. And she feels fantastic. Oh my God, it's the lack of time, that like feeling like you're just walking through tar is what I felt like for years without even knowing, just like I'm walking through tar. And the other memory, terrible. My memory is getting better. It's still bad, but my memory is better than it was, the brain fog. And she was saying, she said, it's so sad because so many women become terrified that they've got dementia or Alzheimer's, and actually it's the lack of estrogen in the brain. Unbelievable. And she said, can you imagine if this was something that men went through? Right, and we're told like, oh yeah, you're probably not going to have a sex drive anymore, but that's just going to be, but that'll be fine. No! Can you imagine what happened for men when they couldn't, you know, what's that drug that they've got? What's the drug that men have got? What is it? What's the drug that men have got to give them an erection? What's it called? Come on, somebody knows. What is the drug that men use that can't get an erection? Well, you know what? You know the one I mean. It's all going to... Yes! Viagra, right? And Viagra, you can go in now into a chemist and just buy it over the counter. Why? Because it was something about men's sex drive. But women are just told, well, you've come to the end of your time now. You can't have kids anymore. You know, that's it. That's you done. Skin. I mean, just find out about it. Faith Goodman, that's amazing, Nadia. Didn't realise you can take it after menopause. Yeah, 8 years after. There's so much we don't know. Can you get in the pound shop, says Vicky. Just one thing, though. Promise me that you don't just go straight to your doctor without checking out the Menopause charity website, because they give you there the absolute template on how to ask for what you want so that you're not chucked out with a packet of antidepressants. Now, if you are genuinely depressed and you need antidepressants, that's a different thing. But I do think it's wrong to be offered them without actually really questioning where a woman's hormones are. I have no libido and I'm 46, Janine. I wonder if have you had your menopause? Gabrielle, HRT saved my mum. She had early menopause at 30. It was a blessing to her and my family. She was having a mental breakdown before she had it. I'm at that age now and scared. Well, don't be scared, Gabrielle. Go and check out the Menopause charity website. Check it out. Because what you might find is that you reading and you're just going, oh my God, this is me. We're left thinking that we're mad, that we're bad, that we're sad, that we're fucking up, that we're worn out, that we're washed up. Do you know what I mean? And it's just not fair. It's just a vital hormone that we need for our brains and bodies to work efficiently. Estrogen, progesterone, some people testosterone, not everybody, that our bodies need. These are vital hormones. I mean, this is just like the fuel of our bodies, you know? Still had to have fatigue and brain fog. All other issues have gone. Been on HRT since 45. You still have fatigue and brain fog. You know what? The other thing is you can have adjustments. Like a friend of mine was saying that she'd been on it for quite a while. And I can't remember what it was, but she was having some symptom coming back. And she went back to her doctor and they changed what one she was having. So again, check that out on the Menopause website. Just type it in, you know, and you might find that you might need to change it. You never know. So, group hug for Xander. Ah. Yeah, so my dirty little secret is out. I think we should do a Q&A on it. Maybe I could get, maybe I could ask Louise if we could do a Q&A together. What about that? If you have breast cancer in family, they're really careful. I was 40. I needed to stop me killing someone. Was on it for 12 years. Was long enough. Henrietta Henson. Please, again, check out the website with everything that you've just said, because it's just really interesting what Louise says is about all of that. It's really interesting. And yeah, she's part of the she's part of the team that are doing research into HRT and COVID as well, and the protections on that, which is that's also very interesting. Again, I'm not going to go into that because I'm just a TV presenter. But yeah, I just thought my own experience might makes, if I think of just one woman just not feeling, or just one woman that might just feel like she got herself back, I'll just be over the moon. So, yeah, Rachel, I will ask about if we can do a Q&A with her. I mean, she's very, very busy. She's she's the busiest person you've ever met in your life. So, yeah, and there's a lot on there about breast cancer on a website and also on her Instagram account about the connections that the media have really, she feels, blown out of all proportion. So, yeah, please check it out. Aww. Sorry, boys, if that was boring for you. But you know what, boys? You are also married to the girls, boyfriends of the girls, fathers of the girls, you know. And this is something major that every single female in your life will go through. And many struggle. And I really want to get on the bandwagon of making this made, you know, as put into the syllabus. We need to know a hell of a lot more so it's not a shock, because when I went into menopause, I thought I was dying because of the rate that I was bleeding. I literally thought I was dying. I was scared shitless. I knew nothing about it. Then when my memory went so badly, I thought I had Alzheimer's. Then I went into a black depression, dark black hole. And I thought, I had no idea that it was my menopause. No idea. Made you feel like you're going mad, exactly. You made you feel like you're mad, bad, sad. Because nobody talks about it. Nobody teaches you about it. And it happens to every single person. And you never know if some of what I'm saying to you resonates for you. You could, and remember, these are now, HRT is now made from yam, not from horse's wee anymore. The one that I'm on is from a yam extract. And it's incredibly powerful. And it has really, really changed things for me. Oh, that's my wardrobe. Nice, isn't it? If those of you that are going to see the No Name Sunday show today, it's Teddy's Teddy Talks is just fantastic. Lisa Loves is great. Nanny Di's downstairs doing the book review. Got some lovely food. I make the most gorgeous hazelnut meringue. But it is going to be just a bit later because it was just crazy this morning. Mark's been working ever so hard this week. He's worn out, actually. So, but it will be with you, but it'll be a bit later. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be notified when we go live. The reason I'm saying that was I was just watching Peter Andre saying that and it really made me laugh. Just notify. Get notified and notified when we're here and when we're uploading. I love Peter. So, yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I think we are going to be doing a live tonight here on the main channel. We want to watch... oh, God, what's it bloody called? Line of Duty. The Menopause charity, it's called. The Menopause charity website. And the doctor is Dr. Louise Newson. Newson. I know me tube, I cleared up. Well, there's a little pile there, but that's the pile for the washing. That's going down to the washing now. Louise Newson. Newson. Please, please, please. just don't take it from me. This is all about me just telling you my experience, so you might look a bit deeper and not be done out of what could be rightfully yours. You have a right to have estrogen in your body. Okay, lovelies, what else was I going to say? What was I saying? Oh yeah, Line of Duty. We've never watched it. Do we need to have watched all the other series to have watched the new series? Can Mark and I start this series? Because we thought it'd be a good one to do a review on afterwards. God, you're going up so fast. Yes, Daisy, my sleep is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that's what everyone I know that's gone on HRT, their sleep just... I mean, again, go to Liz Earle's Instagram and listen to her about sleep and HRT. My God. Listen to this. Apparently, estrogen, a lack of estrogen can even affect your hearing. Because I was watching this live with Liz Earle and she was talking about how a number of her friends had gone for all these different kind of hearing tests and paid a lot, and actually when they went on HRT, their hearing improved. Yeah. Best watch from season 1. Oh, Michi, we can't. Do we really? Could we not pick up? Wicked Luna. Right, you on you, so you get a song. Welcome, Wicked Luna. Welcome, Wicked Luna. It's supposed to be bad. Welcome, Wicked Luna, to the family guest area. Wicked Luna. Wicked Luna. Oh, welcome, 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 welcome. There's a 7-minute series recap of Line on Duty on BBC YouTube channel. Oh, it's only one. I never know how to say your it's only me. Thank you for that. That's a really good tip. So we should watch that. Who's that? It's another new member. Hello. Hello, Jenny Faye, UK. Hello, Jenny Faye, UK, UK, UK. Jenny Faye, Jenny Faye, Jenny Faye, UK. UK. Jenny Faye. Okay, so we will be watching it then, and we will be reviewing it straight afterwards. So, yeah, you don't need to. Different stories each series. Zoe, I hope you were listening about that menopause chat, because it's your age as well I want to reach out to, so it's not a huge shock. I'll get Mark to put the website underneath for you. Or Michelle, if you're listening. Are you listening, Michelle? Could you put the menopause charity website underneath here? Because I don't know how to do that. Viagra, says Annie Comer. Lots of love, everybody. See you later for the live after Line of Duty. Love ya.